What's up everyone? Welcome to the first episode of UnScared Raw, UnScared Inside the Locker Room, UnScared Uncensored, UnScared whatever. You are scared, no you're not, music sounds better with you, titles yet to be decided on. I'm gonna be your host for this one. My name's Hook Slogan, aka I'm your coach, I'm Kevin. And today we're going to show you what's been going on at UnScared lately. A couple of things to show you there. Also, we're gonna be talking to the physio about COVID injuries. We're gonna be talking to Jeremy about training outdoors versus training indoors. Most importantly, we're gonna be tasting and reviewing your blender recipe, which is going to be amazing and probably terrible at the same time. And lastly, you guys are going to beat me back into shape. The first workout is the one that I'm going to decide, which is going to be a sled sprint in the end of today's video. And for the next episode, you guys are going to tell me what to do. Let's get started. So, new weightlifting area, but just first trip down memory lane. About 5 years ago, when the box opened up, we had like 3 platforms and they were all lined up over here when it was a big garage shut down here. Then the 3 platforms were moved to the side here where now the original physio area is. 3 platforms was for like 9 to 12 people to train on. Then we actually moved 5 platforms, which are still here, up until this little elevated floor basically, which has 5 platforms, and we have been running classes with like 15 people and 12 people over those 5 platforms, which was fun, but also very, very crowded. And then we had the closets to kind of close the area off from the CrossFit area. Then we decided, which was definitely because of the COVID regulations, to like move spaces and create 5 additional platforms so we could have people that have actually more space to train on, but we were still running 15 and 12 people classes. Now, if you look to that side, we actually added another 4 platforms. Now what this does is it actually creates 14 training spots. That basically means that everybody that's gonna be in a weightlifting or strength session is gonna be having his own platform with his or her own barbell, his own squat rack, and his or her own bench. So everything that you need to run the class properly as a member is going to be there for you. It's still going to be a lot of fun. You're still going to have your bodies around you, but you have some more space to move and work at your own pace. Now I'm going to show you what's been happening with our member tree, because autumn has been bad to us. Let's go. So, no more member tree, because it was very hard to find yourself in a tree with about 500 people in there, people that unfortunately left us, but also newer people that were not in the tree yet. So what we did is we actually made a member wall, and a member wall is an alphabetical order, starting with the A over there, working its way down, starting on top of here again, going all the way to the, well, it's the Y right now here with the last couple of people being there. Now, make sure when we reopen to check if you actually are on this member wall. If not, ask us so we can shoot a new picture of you, because this should be the complete wall of all of our active members. What we're gonna do right now is me and Kevin are gonna go to Rick at the physiotherapist area, because he's gonna talk to us about COVID injuries. Let's go. So here we are in the physiotherapist area. We're here with Rick, who is a coach and a physio from the Physio Fabriek at the same time. And I actually have a question for him, because although my hair is turning gray from the corona as well, I also have a couple of injuries going on. And I actually was wondering, Rick, if there's a changing trend in injuries since last March that you guys actually encountered here at the Physio Fabriek.
So what we basically see is a lot of posture related injuries. So people are hunched back, hunched over their laptops. So we see a lot of back injuries, shoulder injuries, and also neck injuries, which are mostly passive injuries and need more mobilization. What we also see is a lot of training related stuff. So people don't have their equipment and they're like, well, I did some running 10 years ago, maybe I should pick that up again. So they start running, they do the 5K the first time they start going, and they injure their ankles, their calves, their knees and everything. So basically some passive injuries and some very active injuries, but both because of the corona, no supporting materials and too many working hours.
So the most injuries are also due to the posture based on like sitting behind the laptop all day, having to deal with that. Mm-hmm. So what could you actually tell people to do themselves in order to maybe decrease the chance of injury?
what we often see right now is people buying fancy chairs and the big desks they can move
Is
around.
standing actually like literally better? Because you can still like stand and then do this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can still stand and still be hunched over, and it honestly doesn't matter how you sit, it's more the fact that you sit. So the thing you need to change up is the periodization of sitting. So instead of sitting for 4 hours, try to move away from your desk every 30 minutes. And I understand if you're concentrated, you're focused, it's hard to pull away from the computer, but at least stretch yourself, you know, get your arms overhead, rotate a little bit, make sure your spine is in another position.
What is worse, smoking or sitting?
Sitting, man. Sitting is the
Really?
smoking.
Let's
Yeah.
go have a secret. Let's go. We just came from Rick from the physio. We talked a bit about posture and let's call it COVID injuries basically. Now another thing that we hear a lot is you guys asking questions about training outdoors and how that's gonna actually on a positive way influence training indoors later on, or how it's now negatively influencing that training indoors. So we have our specialist in the house today. Yes, we have. It's my big boy Jeremy over here. And I'm just gonna refer to him here. So very simple question. I've been training outdoors now since December. I have not touched a barbell. I have the ID that all my strength has disappeared. My muscles look very small. How long, when I come back inside, does it take me to get my deadlift back at the point where it was before the lockdown?
There's literally only one correct answer, and that is it depends. Because it depends on what have you been doing over the last few months. Have you been absolutely doing nothing? Have you been doing things that kind of work like deadlifts? Maybe you've done heavy kettlebell swings, or maybe you've done any type of dumbbell or kettlebell Romanian deadlift. Basically anything that trains the same muscle and trains the same movement can still help. Even something like sprinting or walking could help and is at least better than doing nothing. So if you're concerned about this, get moving.
Okay, but then second question. So I deadlift about 100 kilos. I mean, I'm a strong deadlift. I have like a 100 kilo deadlift, right? Yeah, 225 pounds. Now, that being said, the heaviest kettlebell is 40 kilos.
Yeah.
So I have to to actually make it hurt or make it feel heavy, I have to do hundreds of reps to get that feeling that I'm actually working. So I'm not even getting close to what then we call submaximal weights or whatever. So does all that volume or all that work still contributes to my absolute strength?
It depends. So I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna say this like a bunch of times. What's very important to understand is like the body is like a race car driver and the actual race car. So the body is like the racing car and basically your brain is the driver. Now your body is probably gonna be fine because your body doesn't care about if you're lifting 100 kilos or 90 or 80, your body just feels tension on the muscle. So if you do heavy kettlebell swings, even if it's like 30 kilos compared to your 100 kilo deadlift, your body feels tension. So your body feels the tension, your muscles are still able to contribute force, but your brain may at some point kind of forget how to deadlift. And that's gonna take you a few weeks at least to get back into the groove. So from my experience, there's not really concrete guidelines. In most cases, within a few weeks, if you keep moving, within a few weeks, you can get pretty close to your old level again, even if you've not done anything heavy for several months.
Nice. And if I, okay, so that's when you actually have done that pattern as well, right? So you actually haven't.
Yeah.
If I just did, I mean, you guys, we program, I know we do that. A lot of like circuit style training right now. We do a little bit of biking, a little bit of swinging, a little bit of pressing, like a little bit of everything basically to just keep moving while we're outside in the cold. If I have not specifically trained that hinge pattern with higher volume, but I did all that other weird stuff that we tend to call CrossFit or high intensity training, doesn't that make me very weak? Because I'm a strength athlete, right? I would just want to fucking lift kilos.
Well, if you look at the context, because it depends. If you look at the context, everything you do is better than not doing anything. So the circuits we do here are not going to make you weaker, but you are going to be weaker because you're not actually doing the heavy deadlifts.
We told you we were cooking up something new, and for the first episode, I actually asked you guys to send a lot of recipes, like blender recipes, stuff you can put into the blender and then drink, and either has very good nutritional value or very bad. And we're gonna have some of both. I actually picked 4 of the recipes. I picked Timo's Troublemaker. I picked Job's Debateful 8. I also picked Andrei's MPBB or MPBB, one of the two, I'm not sure yet. And then last but not least, what else did I pick? I picked Kenneth Quick's Ben & Jerry Quick Shake, obviously. Now I'm gonna cut up everything. I'm gonna make the shakes. You guys are gonna watch that process, and then me and Kevin are going to taste the shakes, rate the shakes, and hopefully not throw up. See you in a second. So we have Job van Wolferen, the 8 ingredient shake, the debateful 8. We have Andrij's MPBB shake with the peanut butter stuff in there. We got the completely failure of a Ben & Jerry shake without the milk, but with some low-fat quark as water. And then we have the Timo's Troublemaker with the kibbeling, the macadamia nuts, the mango, and the low-fat quark as well, because you gotta get proteins in. I actually placed them in the same order we made the shakes, with the idea of also tasting them in that same order, starting with the green one over there, working our way towards the kibbeling shake. Yeah, definitely. So there's half of a lime in this one. You know what you can use lime for when you're on holidays?
Nah.
You can use lime as a deodorant.
Good
You
to
ever
know.
think of that? Yeah. So what you can do, guys, when you're out of deodorant is you can squeeze some lime on a whim, and then you can like dab your armpit with that. No, seriously, with a whim, because the lime, it kills the bacteria and it gives you a fresh smell.
And then you use it for a shake.
And then you use it. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's good. So the good thing of this shake, which I definitely recommend for you guys, is I think the nutritional value is awesome. Sometimes when you have a shake and it's a bit too sour, it's very disturbing in the taste buds. It's like you guys know that feeling that it starts to explode, like in your cheek in the top corner. Like, you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Andrij's MPBB shake. Oh yeah, we need a cleanser.
Clear the palate. Clear the palate.
Clear the palate. This is the MPBB, which is literally an abbreviation for milk, peanut butter, and banana. You can find it on Google. Banana, great for hangovers because of the amount of potassium that's in there. Let's have a taste.
Cheers.
Bro, it's so creamy. It's also because I put half the jar of peanut butter into the blender. So, yeah. I actually also made double. I made double on this one. Yeah. I would do this with some vanilla protein powder in there, with cookies and cream. I like that combination. Freeze the bananas when you make it to get that milkshake type of flavor, but this one's awesome. I like it.
The taste is nice, but it's something missing.
Let's go to the 2 ingredient recipe from Kenneth that we made into a 3 ingredient recipe because I actually messed up the amount of milk that we bought. So, okay, let's have a taste, man. So this is, what is it, 364 calories, these two combined. Yeah, the quark messes it up.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's a watery ice cream.
Yeah. Kenneth, so the Ben & Jerry Quick Shake, great idea. I actually know that it's very good, although I haven't tasted. But because of our mistake, it didn't get us right. So maybe we take it to the next video as a pre-workout or something.
Sounds good.
Nice. You know how Ben & Jerry met?
No, in the barn.
No, like Ben & Jerry, the owners, they actually met at primary school in gym class. Nice reference to a gym. Because they were running so far behind the group when they were doing running. That's it. Up next is Timo's Troublemaker. This idea was one of the most disturbing things that came into the Instagram answers. If we could make you experience how heavy this is, like this feels like a light dumbbell we do for a warm-up exercise.
That would be it, yeah.
Yeah, there's mango in there to talk about nutrition.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Lekker. It doesn't flow into my mouth. It's sticking to the ground.
I can do it.
It's a bad start. Nope.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that aftertaste is so bad. Oh.
Okay. It's super hard to swallow.
Saying that while sitting on a casting couch.
And it doesn't taste very nicely.
Okay, so let's rate. It's gonna be very simple because it's a 1. If I can give a 0, I will give a 0, but it's a 1. This is a 2 because I understand it, but I just messed it up. This is like a 3.5 because it has potential. And this is actually, the more I drink the other stuff, the more I'm liking this one. So I'm actually gonna, for the sake of this, I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give this water a 3 because it's in between here. This was better than the rest.
I agree. This one is clearly the best.
Oh my God. We're gonna make coffee next week. Probably 4 or 5 different types of coffee. But the fluid we're going to use to make the coffee, you guys can decide on. So it does not have to be water that goes to the machine. We're not gonna mess up the machine. We're gonna probably do a different setup for the coffee. And then we're going to taste those different coffees. So I'm gonna throw in one right away, which is we're going to make coffee from Red Bull. Like, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make coffee from Red Bull. And then we're gonna be on the hype train for the rest.
I guess.
I think we should start a video with that. And then we go on. Next up and last one is beat this guy into shape. So we're gonna end up this video with me doing a sled sprint outside. So see you guys outside in a second. Finish him. So each 2 weeks you guys are gonna get the opportunity to actually make me do something terrible, as in a workout, but it always needs to be very short so we can actually capture it on camera and put it in the end of the episode as a nice little finisher. Today I actually decided on my own to do something I haven't done in 2 years, which is gonna be the sled sprint with the empty sled. You say empty, I say yeah, empty, because that's actually the most terrible thing to do, because you actually have to try and run. And I'm gonna try to go to the gate and then turn around and come back here. And then we'll try to capture me talking again in the end of the video. Let's see what happens, okay? Then give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go!
Holy. Oh, I'm gonna take a walk. See you guys later.